Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of What's New with ME. I'm your host, Ali Mehdaoui, and today we've got global triple header, baby. Netanyahu storms the UN with fire and fury while half of the room storms out. James Comey becomes the latest political lightning rod with an indictment that reads more like a reality TV script. And oh yeah, let's not forget, the world is trying to broker deals for both Gaza and Ukraine at the same time. Buckle up, buttercup, because this ride comes with turbulence. Let's start at the United Nations, where Benjamin Netanyahu took the stage this week, and in classic BB fashion, he didn't just walk up to the podium, he basically set it on fire. As he declared Israel will finish the job in Gaza, more than 100 diplomats from over 50 countries quietly grabbed their briefcases and bounced. That's right, one of the biggest coordinated walkouts in UN history. Imagine throwing a birthday party and half your guests leave before you cut the cake. So what was in this speech? Well, Netanyahu blasted Western nations like France, the UK, and Canada for recognizing Palestinian statehood, saying it's basically rewarding terrorism, flat out rejecting the two-state solution, calling it, quote, insane. He even compared it to giving Al-Qaeda a state near New York right after 9/11. Subtle as a jackhammer. Told hostages and their families, we have not forgotten about you, while Israel blasted his speech through loudspeakers on the Gaza border and even onto people's phones inside Gaza. Israel basically turned the UN General Assembly into a live stream hostage note. And of course, he denied accusations of genocide, saying Israel is acting in defense, while reminding the world it's providing humanitarian aid. The optics? Israel is more isolated than ever. The message? He's doubling down. The fallout? Widening gap between Israel and much of the international community. And somewhere, the UN janitorial staff is still sweeping up the dust from all those diplomats rushing for the door. Meanwhile, back here in the United States, former FBI Director James Comey just got hit with a federal indictment. Yes, the same James Comey who was fired by Trump in 2017, wrote a book about it, and still somehow messaged to trend on X 8 years later. Here's a breakdown. Comey's charged with making false statements to Congress and obstruction of congressional proceedings. Prosecutors say he lied in 2020, and he told the Senate Judiciary Committee he never authorized leaks to the press. His old deputy, Andrew McCabe, says otherwise, and the grand jury bought it. The timing? Filed just before the statute of limitations expired. That's like sprinting into a finish line of a race and right before the ref's whistle is about to blow. But here's where it gets really spicy. The U.S. attorney originally handling the case refused to prosecute, but then Trump's team replaced him with an ally who greenlit the indictment. Coincidence? I'll let you decide. Civil liberties groups are calling it a gross abuse of power. The ACLU said it's a grotesque abuse of presidential authority. Translation, the Justice Department is starting to feel like a house of cards and less like Law and Order. And the personal fallout is brutal. Comey's daughter was fired from her job as a federal prosecutor, and his son-in-law resigned from a federal post. Family dinners are going to be a little bit awkward at the Comey's family. What's next? Well, Comey's arraignment is set for early October. He is expected to plead not guilty, and politically, this is just about as circus as it gets. One side calling it justice served, and the other calling it weaponized politics. Either way, get your popcorn, because it's going to be a show to watch. All right, let's move back overseas, because while leaders are trading barbs, negotiators are trying to actually stitch together peace or at least ceasefire. On Gaza, the U.S. is floating a plan for a Gaza International Transitional Authority, potentially led by, wait for it, Tony Blair. Yes, the former UK Prime Minister. You can't make this stuff up. The idea is Blair would oversee Gaza temporarily, backed by Arab states, and eventually send in a multinational force. Basically, Gaza's under new management coming soon. The problem is Palestinians aren't buying it, and Arab states aren't sold either. And Blair is just about popular in the region as pineapple is on pizza. And to make things worse, Israel bombed Doha and Qatar recently, hitting a Hamas leadership meeting. That's like dropping a bowling ball on the peace table mid-negotiation. Ukraine's generals say Russia's big 2025 offensive fizzles out. A lot of bluster, not a lot of land gained. Now, the Trump administration is quietly approving its first weapons aid package, but here's the twist. U.S. taxpayers aren't footing the bill. Thank God. The allies are, think of it as a BYO missiles arrangement. Belarus Lukashenko claims Putin has a very good proposal to end the war and that Trump is in on the secret. If that doesn't sound like a setup to a Bond villain plot, I don't know what does. Energy is also on the table. U.S. and Russian officials have apparently discussed energy deals alongside peace talks because nothing says world peace like an oil contract. And in Ukraine's President Zelensky dropped a bombshell of his own. Once the war is over, he's ready to leave office. Imagine leading your country through hell, then basically saying, my work is done here, folks. Have a good life. So Gaza might get Tony Blair as a landlord. Ukraine may get Putin, Trump proposal. And the rest of us, we're just holding our breath in here, hoping for the world to still be going on after all of this. So to recap, Netanyahu got the world's cold shoulder at the UN. James Comey got indicted just in time for political theater season. And the fate of Gaza and Ukraine now depends on whether world leaders can strike deals that don't collapse faster than a Jenga tower at the toddler's birthday party. That's it for today, folks. That's what's new with ME. If you found this breakdown useful, hit that like button, share it with a friend, and don't forget to subscribe because staying informed is half of the battle and laughing through the whole madness is the other half. I'm Ali Mehdaoui. Stay sharp, stay kind, and I'll see you next time.
In a world of digital noise, your brand deserves a command center. Welcome to ME Studios, where your vision doesn't just get captured, it gets amplified. This isn't just another production space. This is your complete media powerhouse. Our multi-unit facility in New Jersey is engineered for brands that refuse to be overlooked. We transform your voice into professional podcasts streaming on Spotify, Amazon Music, and beyond. Your stories become headlines across 300-plus media outlets, including Fox, ABC. Behind every viral moment is strategy. Our content creation and SEO campaigns don't just chase trends, they create them. From concept to distribution, we build the digital presence others envy. Your brand, your voice, your time to dominate. Visit the mestudios.net and turn potential into impact.